Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera everyone. For this week, me Azwan bin Yusuf and my partner Muhammad Azmel will explain about chapter 7, which is nutrition and physical activity assessment. Okay, we proceed to the first slide, which is food guide pyramid. What is food guide pyramid? Food guide pyramid will illustrate the importance of balance among food group in a daily eating patterns. For example, grains, fruit and vegetable group are at the base of the pyramids. For a moderate diet, we need to eat food in the meal group and the meat and bean group. For food that are high in nutrient and high in fat and sugar, we need to reduce in our daily diet for fear of harming our health. Okay, we move to the next slide, which is Malaysian food pyramid. Malaysian food pyramid is a simple guide for individual to vary their food intake according to the total daily food serving requirements. Malaysian food pyramid is a balanced diet contain the combination of food that will provide all the nutrients needed by our body. There is no single food that will provide us with the all nutrients needed. The body needs many types of food in varying amount to maintain health. A food pyramid consists of four levels that represent 5 food groups. Indicated beside each food group is the recommended number of servings per day from each group. From the bottom to the top of the food pyramid, the size of each food group becomes smaller, indicating that an individual should eat more of the food at the base of pyramid and less of the food at the top of the pyramids. For example, consume milk and milk product every day, one of the most complete of all food, containing nearly all the constituent of nutritional importance to human. Okay, we move to the next slide, which is recommended dietary allowance and dietary reference intake (DRI). Recommended dietary allowance can define as a level of intake of essential nutrients considered in the judgment of the food and nutrition board on the basis of available scientific knowledge. To be adequate to meet the non-nutritional need of practically all healthy person. Recommended dietary allowance were created to provide recommendation for the intake of particular essential nutrient for various gender and age group, as well as for reproductive condition. Recently, the recommended dietary allowance have been expanded into new DRI levels. The DRIs include RDA, estimate average requirement, adequate intake and tolerable upper intake limit. Okay, we go to the next slide, which is definition of dietary reference intake. For this slide, we will go one by one. Okay, we go to the reference dietary allowance first. A DA is the amount of food consumed a daily basis that is adequate to fulfill the nutritional needs of nearly all healthy people of a given age and gender group. RDA is set at a level that is at the top 2 to 3% of the requirement distribution, and RDA is intended to serve as a goal for daily intake by individual. Okay, we go to the second, which is estimate average requirement. Estimate average requirement is nutrient intake value expected to meet the need of half of the healthy people in a given age and gender group. Estimate average requirement is limited in number due to few human studies. For example, half of subjects need meet met at this level. That means 50% of subjects will not have their need met. Okay, we go to the third, which is adequate intake. Adequate intake is similar to RDA and are used when RDA cannot be developed due to a lack of research knowledge. Adequate intake can be used as a guide to nutrient intake for the individual, and adequate intake may be used as a goal for nutrient intake for the individuals. It is derived from intake that appear to sustain a defined nutritional state. Okay, we go to the last one, which is tolerable upper intake limits, UL. Tolerable upper intake limit is intended to create a nutrient intake safety ceiling for individuals who eat a nutrient in excess of the RDA. Next slide is nutrition assessment. Nutrition assessment is the measurement of the nutritional health of the body. It can include anthropometric measurement, biochemical tests, clinical observation, and dietary intake, as well as medical history and socioeconomic factors. We go to the first one, which is anthropometric measurement. This measurement is to take a physical measurement of the body, such as weight, height, circumference, gut measurement, and skinfold measurement. For example, is body mass index. This is formula to calculate your BMI. Divide your weight by the square of your head. Next slide is classification of your BMI. If your BMI is less than 18.5, your body is underweight. If your BMI is 18.5 until 24.9, your body is normal and risk of comorbidities is very low. But if your BMI more than 35, your body is extremely obese and risk of comorbidities is very severe. Next slide is example how to calculate your BMI. This example is BMI of my partner Asmel, who weighed 66 kg and had 176.
Now we talk about nutrition assessment method. We have two things that we must know. First is biochemical tests, and second is clinical observation. Biochemical test is nutrition or its metabolite is measured in one or more body fluids such as blood, urine, and feces. For clinical observation is done by assessing the well-being traits that can be found through a physical examination. Okay, this is a simple thing. We go to the next slide. Okay, This is about the dietary intake that have four things that we must know. First is diet history. Second is food record. The third one is food frequency questionnaire. And the last one is 24-hour recall. We go to the next slide. Now we talk about assessing body composition that have three. First is this densitometry, and second is anthropometric, and the last one is other. For densitometry, we have hydrostatic weight, and for anthropometric, we have skin fold measurement, body mass index that we know BMI, and we have waist to hip ratio. And for the other, we have bioelectrical impedance analysis that we call BIA. We have energy X-ray absorptiometry that we call DEXA, and we have CT scan. Now we go to the next slide. Okay. Now we talk about hydrostatic weight. Hydrostatic weight is, as we know, underwater weight that we call hydrodistometry, and this thing is the most accurate ways to measure your body fat. Okay, this is just a simple thing that we must know how function is hydrostatic weight. Okay, now we talk about skin fold measurement. This one is very simple. If you can see on the slide, we just use a caliper, the white thing, the caliper to measure our fat. Okay, I hope you all understand about this. Now we talk about bioelectrical impedance analysis. That's this one is also used to measure our fat. If you can see on the slide, okay, this is a very simple things. I hope you understand about this topic. Now we talk about dual energy X-ray absorptiometry scan that we call DEXA. This thing, human just use the machine to scan our body. Okay, it's a simple thing. Now we go to the diet assessment. They have three things. First is a diet history. Second is a food record, and the last one is a food frequency. I already put the example for these things in this slide. Okay, you just can see it. I think that's all for me. Thank you all, and see you next time. Bye bye. Okay, now yeah. Hello everyone, and good night for you all. Today I want to make a Q&A season, and we start from Andrea. Andrea, you have a question for me?
Yes, Azmel. So my question is,
Uh,
your topic is what food causes weight gain?
nice question, Andrea. Nice. Okay. My,
Yeah.
my answer is for your question. You need to take a food chip, sugar sweet, unprocessed red meat, and processed meat. Am I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you, Azmel.
Nice, nice. Next.
Okay, I have
Okay.
question for Asmil.
Yes,
My
man.
question is, what should I eat if I are underweight?
Okay, for your question, my answer is you need eat at least 5 portions of a variety of fruit and vegetable, and also you need take have some dairy of dairy alternatives such as soya drink and yogurt, And you also need to eating some beans, fish, egg, meat, and other protein. And I answer your question, Kenneth.
Yes, you answer my question. Thank you.
Nice, nice. Last one from Valkis. You have question, Valkis?
Hello, dengar kah?
Dengar, dengar.
What does obesity affect to the body?
My answer is being obese can also increase your risk of developing many potential serious health, and including type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. Can I answer your question, Balkis?
Yes, Azmil, thank you.
Nice. I think that's all for Q&A question. Thank you for your attention for this meeting, and see you next time.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.